Hi, I'm Madame Pamita, and I love teaching about magic. If you have a question about spells, the law of attraction, spirituality, witchcraft, Slavic folk magic, spirits, divination, you can join me on Sundays at the Live Magic Q&A where we record an episode of my podcast, Magic and the Law of Attraction, and then I answer your questions on anything mystical or magical live over Zoom. Just go to spellsquad.com to get the link to join me in the clubhouse. And don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel and click the bell icon so you get a gentle, magical reminder and you'll be the first witch to see whenever anything new goes up. Here's a great tidbit from one of our past Q&As answering a really important spiritual question.
Let's see. Okay, Nirvani has another question. Can you share a simple healing spell? Let's talk about healing spells for a second. So, healing spells, sometimes people have a concept that when they do a healing spell, it means that they do, let's say, a candle spell for healing, and then miraculously they're healed, right? Sometimes that happens. Spontaneous healing happens. It does happen. It isn't quite as frequent as you might think, and it's certainly not the default for doing a healing spell. Healing spells generally work the best when you have the expectation that it's going to bring something in the material world, right? So your body is in the material world, and healing, if you're doing healing for physical body, you didn't mention what kind of healing, Nirvana. So I'm guessing it means physical healing. We have emotional healing, we have spiritual healing, we have mental healing. I mean, there's all kinds of healing that can happen. But let's just talk about physical healing for this. So if you're doing physical healing and you're doing a spell for it, you want to be open to the magic. So because you're working with something material, your body is material, right? You are going to get probably that healing coming from a material source, right? So when you do a healing spell, it opens up synchronicities to bring you the healing for your body, right? What do you need? What kind of healing do you need? Well, let's say, oh, I've got a sore shoulder, let's say. And you're like, oh, I've gone to the doctor and the doctor doesn't help me. It doesn't seem to be really working. I've gone and done all the other things. Now I'm going to do a spell for it. Do the spell. The spell could produce a spontaneous healing. That can happen, but more often than not, it's going to bring you the information that you need, or the healing practitioners, or the treatment, or whatever it is that you need in the material world. So it can be bringing you the right doctor, or the right medical practitioner, or the right modality of medical practice, right? Maybe you need acupuncture and you've been going to a regular medical doctor, or maybe you need a different medical doctor, or maybe you need to go to a different clinic, or whatever, but it will bring you that peace. It could bring you that peace. Another thing that a healing spell can do is to bring in treatments, right? Maybe you are getting a certain kind of treatment and it's not working. And then you're like searching online for something and you stumble on the treatment that you need. It also can bring you the information that you need, right? Sometimes it's something that you need to change. Like maybe you're sitting in a chair that's really not good for your shoulder, and you're carrying a really heavy purse, and you read something and you're like, "Oh, carrying a heavy purse can give me shoulder pain. I never even thought of that. Let me try it on the other shoulder and give my right shoulder a rest," right? So it can be information, it could be treatments, it could be people and modalities. It can be any one of those things. So when you do a healing spell, the way to sort of think about it is that you're opening up the doors so that you have the right set of circumstances to bring you the healing. Then when you're doing the spell, what I would recommend working with is we want to work with the color blue or white. Blue is for healing, white is for clearing and cleansing. If you're getting rid of something, you might want to do that. Or you might want to use blue for healing. Okay, those are the colors you could choose for your candles, for example. You could work with holy healing oil. That's really easy to work with. That's another, holy healing is meant to open up those synchronicities to get your healing, whether it's spiritual healing, mental healing, physical healing. But don't rely just on magic. That's mostly what I want to say about this is don't just rely on magic. It's like don't do the magic, but then do the magic and then don't do the physical material world things. You got to do those material world things too. It's the same thing as like applying, doing a spell for a new job, but then not going to the interview or not sending out resumes or putting in applications. You're not going to get a job if you don't do something in the material world. It's another material world issue, right? So make sure that when you're doing healing spells that you're open to those material world solutions, because I can tell you from my experience with my clients, my own experience, that's where it happens. For me, that's where it's always happened. I do a healing spell and then I meet the person that has the information or meet the right practitioner or whatever to get the resolution. So work with holy healing oil, work with blue candles and white candles. Lots of healing candle spells. I mean, there's lots of candles that you can use for healing. Like the Laughing Buddha is really good for healing. The Goddess of Willendorf candle is really good for healing. Angel candles really good for healing. If you work in Catholic magic, you might want the Mother Mary for the healing. So there's lots of candles that we have at the shop, and you can choose them in blue and white or bring in those extra support candles in other colors, and you can really have a good spell for that. There's all kinds of herbs for healing as well, but Althea is a really good one for healing. Boldo is really good for healing. There's a lot of healing herbs. So you can look on the site and type in healing herbs and they'll pop up. The category will pop up. All right. Or the tags will pop up.